Dolphins Today is presented by Aura, a all-in-one digital safety tool. If you go to aura.com/chatsports, that's where you can start your 14-day free trial. Welcome into Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott, and on today's show, we're going to be getting into a Dolphins mailbag. I'm going to answer your questions about some rumors, some trade rumors. Should be a fun show. But first, I want you to go down and try to guess what sport I played in college. I went to Syracuse University, so go down and try to guess what sport I played. I think I said it once on a previous show a couple weeks ago, so if you remember, you were at a big advantage, but the first person to comment correctly gets a shout-out on Sunday's show. Batman, what's going on? That's my favorite superhero right there. What type of season will be considered a success? What type of season will be considered a failure? I think it's quite simple. I think if you make the playoffs, it is a success. I think we'd all be very happy with the Fins making the playoffs, ending this playoff drought. They haven't been to the playoffs in a long time. It's been a couple years. Failure would be missing the playoffs. It would be, I think, a disappointment if the Dolphins were to miss the playoffs. I think the expectation is for them to make it. I think the goal should be to make the playoffs. I said this on my Dream Scenario show just yesterday. I would be thrilled if they won a playoff game, made it to the divisional round, maybe a matchup with Buffalo or something there. And then Dream Scenario, I think, is making the AFC Championship game. Obviously, if you get into the dance, you have a chance to make the Super Bowl, but I think this team's ceiling as of right now is the AFC Championship game. Now, will the Dolphins make the playoffs? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I feel very confident, even in a tough AFC, that the Fins get in. I'm going to type my Y for yes. Go down. Let me know what you think. Let's go to Mr. Chad now. He says, is Miami going to make any more big splashes? You know, it's fun, Chad. Back in the day, it feels like a long time ago at this point when the Fins were making a move every single day. And even when free agency started to die down in April, they were still going out signing guys like Melvin Ingram and Sony Michel. And, you know, now we're just kind of sitting here and waiting that maybe Chris Greer's going to make another move. Here are some available free agents. I am shocked that we're into July and there are still plenty of big names left. And I feel like we're getting to a point where we can just assume that some of these guys haven't signed because they don't want to practice. They don't want to be a part of any offseason training, and they're just chilling on a beach, and they'll still get that big contract they're looking for before the season starts. With OBJ, I think it's more of him, waiting in terms of the injury concerns. Hopefully he can go to a team that will still pay him even with the injury concerns. I think that's what OBJ is waiting for. He's obviously coming off the torn ACL. Now, I think the Dolphins are going to sign someone else, but it may not be a big move, right? They're definitely going to make another move, right, in training camp or maybe after the fact, but it might not be a big move. And when I say not a big move, I mean signing a guy like Porter Gustin, which they did a few weeks ago. But they're absolutely going to make another roster move here pretty soon. Now, Aura is really going to come in clutch for you because, when you talk about online, situations these days and you're paying for stuff online, your credit card's getting hacked, Aura is going to keep you safe because they're going to send you near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. When the Tennessee Titans gave Ryan Tannehill that massive contract, they got an Aura alert because Aura thought it was very suspicious. Keep your identity secure with extensive monitoring of your personal info. Shop, bank, and work online more safely and privately, and you keep your family's online activities safe from hackers. That's the link right there, aura.com/chatsports. There's nothing to lose. It's a free trial. Go try it out at aura.com/chatsports. That's the link you have to go to get the free trial. John Ruiz, the Comet MVP, always down in the comments on Dolphins Today. I appreciate you, John. John, I know that you really want Jessie Bates. Let's talk about Jessie Bates. He has been in trade rumors. He wants to get paid. The Bengals have not paid him yet, and Cincinnati would save nearly $13 million if they deal him. So the Dolphins have been one of the teams I've seen somewhat linked to Bates. They haven't been linked to him a lot, but I've still seen a couple articles that have, Jessie Bates, top 10 destinations, and the Dolphins on that list. Here's what he did in the playoffs last year. And when you're talking about his regular season, it wasn't stellar, wasn't the Jessie Bates we saw in 2020. But my goodness, the Bengals do not make the Super Bowl without this guy. He was fantastic in the playoffs. Now, why the Dolphins probably aren't interested in trading for Bates is because look at who they have right now. They feel really good about their two young safeties. I mean, heck, Eric Rowe is not even starting right now, and that's why he might get traded. So they feel really good about Holland, and they feel really good about Jones. That's why Eric Rowe's not going to start. That's probably why you wouldn't trade for Jessie Bates. But what if you gave up Brandon Jones in a trade for Jessie Bates and then a third-round pick that's not even yours? It's courtesy of New England from that Devontae Parker trade a few months back. Dolphins would be getting Jessie Bates. And I know you're saying, I don't know if I want to give up Jones. I'm with you there. But this would be the Dolphins' safety room after that trade. That is the best safety tandem in the league if it happens. Javon Holland and Jessie Bates. Good luck getting past those guys if you're any offense in the National Football League. Now, would you trade Brandon Jones if it meant getting Jessie Bates? Now, keep in mind that if you trade for Jessie Bates, you are going to have to pay Jessie Bates. Very similar to the Tyreek Hill situation where he wanted to get paid and the Chiefs wouldn't pay him. Same thing with Jessie Bates. You would have to trade for him and then pay him. Type T for trade or type P for pass. Down in the comments section, it's the pinned comment on today's video. When an ad break comes, go down, let me know what you think. Type T for trade or type P for pass. Let's get into Tony Grosh's trade idea. And I always love your trade ideas because y'all get very creative with them. This one might be one of the most creative I have seen on this channel. He says Miami would give up Mike Gesicki, a first and a third-round pick. San Francisco would send George Kittle and a fourth-round pick back to Miami. Here is what that trade would look like. And, man, would this be a blockbuster. You have a tight end swap. Then you give up a first-round pick and a third-round pick. Now, when you're talking about Kittle, you're talking about one of the best tight ends in all of football. He was coached by Mike McDaniel in San Francisco, and it feels like a lot of these 49 players have been linked to McDaniel in trade rumors. Obviously, Deebo Samuel, one of those guys. Here's what Kittle has done the last couple seasons. His production has gone down a tad. He just hasn't played in as many games. So, to be honest with you, Tony, I don't even know if you'd have to give up 2 picks to get him. I think maybe 1 pick would get him, probably a second-round pick perhaps, and Mike Gesicki. But I don't know if the Niners would be willing to give up Kittle. But Mike Gesicki, on the other hand, if they can't come to terms on an extension over there in Miami, then he might get traded. I don't know how likely that is, but whenever players want an extension and they don't get one, a trade is possible. Now, would you make this trade for Kittle, giving up Gesicki and 2 picks? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Down in the comments section, I mean, my goodness, if you somehow get George Kittle and pair him with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, that might be the most dangerous offense in the National Football League. Go down, let me know what you think about this possible trade. I'm going to predict that Gesicki is going to get extended before training camp. So I don't think this trade is super likely. In fact, I think a Gesicki extension is going to come here in the next few weeks. I think Miami should absolutely do it, make him a top 10 paid tight end. Now, if a Gesicki trade goes down, I'll tell you what, it's going to be nice to have your notifications on because you're going to get an alert on your cell phone right as we put out a video about a Gesicki extension. And I can promise you that that might happen here in the next few weeks. So turn on your notifications and help us win the contest this month at Chat Sports. That is the contest. Whoever can get the most subscribers to turn on their notifications. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, what are you waiting for? Go down, hit that big red subscribe button, and turn on your notifications. We appreciate the noti gang. Gus says, my biggest fear for Miami is the right tackle position. Austin Jackson is a bust. Gus, you might be right, because here is what Jackson did his first 2 seasons in the league after being a first-round pick out of USC. So he really struggled at the left tackle position. They're like, hey, we'll move him to guard, and he did even worse. So now he's going to be protecting to his blind side. Yippee! I'm not excited about that. I'd feel better if they signed someone. And look, I still think Austin Jackson has potential. I've actually defended him on this show a couple times. And I hear a lot of you on the comments saying, Will, I know you don't like the O-line, but have faith in this new coaching staff. Have faith in Matt Applebaum. Have faith in Mike McDaniel. And I think you're right. I think this coaching staff will improve the offensive line. But my goodness, you're talking about Tua's blindside here and what is a make or break year. Go sign Daryl Williams. Go trade for Matt Parrott. Do something to improve the offensive line. Dan, welcome to the channel, man. He says, I've been trying to become an NFL fan. Never really have been. Leaning Dolphins. Not sure why other than the color scheme, which is a great reason. Best throwback gear in all of football. Why should it be the Dolphins? Well, Dan, I'm going to tell you what. If you become a Dolphins fan now, it is a great time to become a Dolphins fan. They have a new coaching staff in here with the swaggiest head coach, coolest head coach in the league, Mike McDaniel. They have the most explosive wide receiver in football in Tyreek Hill. They have a lot of young talent. Second-year wide receiver Jalen Waddle, who might be the fastest wide receiver in the National Football League. Third-year quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who gets so much hate, unnecessary hate from sports fans in the media, who's going to try to prove all those haters wrong. The Miami Dolphins are going to be the fastest show on turf, the most exciting show on turf this year, and they're a very, very likable organization. So much more likable than those despicable New England Patriots. Let me tell you, Dan, hop on the Dolphins bandwagon. There's still room. Come on. Board the train, man. Board the Dolphins bandwagon. It's going to be a fun year. And you know what, Dan? And you know what else, Dolphins fans? We're going to be having watch parties here on Dolphins Today. Me and producer Trace behind the scene going to be having a lot of fun with those watch parties. So hit that big red sub button, subscribe. You don't want to miss anything. It's going to be a lot of fun. Man, I know we've been talking about all these rumors, all these news. I am just ready for football to start, man. We're getting closer to the season. In fact, training camp just a few weeks away, and then the Dolphins' first preseason game a little over a month away. It's going to be fun.